Hi Phoenix family. Tonight's video we are doing modern pagans. I have a write-up right here that I'll be reading from about 7 pagans in modern times, and really as I read each one it really is just an introduction. I would encourage you, if you would like to learn more about each one, to do some research of your own and maybe check out some of the books or information that I give you about them and kind of get an idea of who they are. For right now though, this is just an introduction. The first one I'm going to go over is Raymond Buckland. And before I start reading, I do want to let you know that he is one that I absolutely suggest in Raymond Buckland's Book of Witchcraft. I've had that book since I was 16 years old, and although it is heavily on the Wiccan side and I am Celtic, it is still a really good reference book, and it helps the solitaire Wiccan or pagan or anybody that studies in witchcraft. It has nothing at all to do with the Druid practices, but witchcraft in itself. That is the book to go to as a reference. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or if you're a veteran. Raymond Buckland's Book of Witchcraft, absolutely, and also Raymond Buckland's Spirit Communications are two books that I absolutely recommend. Okay, so let's begin. Number 1, Raymond Buckland. Raymond Buckland, born in Britain, lived from August 1934 to September 2017. He was raised in the Anglican Church but developed an interest in spiritualism and the occult at about the age of 12 after learning it from his spiritualist uncle. According to his written works, primarily Witchcraft on the Inside, published in 1971, he was the first person in the United States to openly admit to being a practitioner of Wicca, and he introduced the lineage of Gardnerian Wicca to the United States in 1964, after having been initiated by Gerald Gardner and then High Priestess Monique Wilson in Britain the previous year. He later formed his own tradition dubbed Theo Wicca, which focused on the symbolism of Anglo-Saxon paganism. In 1968, Buckland formed the first museum of witchcraft and magic in the United States, as influenced by Gardner's Museum of Witchcraft and Magic. It started off as by an appointment-only policy museum in his own basement. After his collection of artifacts grew, he moved the museum to a 19th century house in Bay Shore. The museum received some media attention, and a documentary was produced about it. Number 2, Scott Cunningham. Scott Douglas Cunningham, born June 27, 1957, died March 28, 1993, was a U.S. writer. Cunningham is the author of several books on Wicca and various other alternative religious subjects. Cunningham had one older brother, Greg, and a younger sister, Christine. Scott was openly gay for much of his life. He studied creative writing in San Diego State University, where he enrolled in 1978. After 2 years in the program, however, he had more published works than several of his professors and dropped out of the university to write full-time. During this period, he had a roommate, magical author Donald Michael Craig, and often socialized with witchcraft author Raymond Buckland, who was also living in San Diego at the time. In 1980, Cunningham began initiate training under Raven Grimassi and remained as a first-degree initiate until 1982, when he left the tradition to pursue a solo practice of witchcraft. Cunningham practiced a fairly basic interpretation of Wicca, often worshipping alone, though his book series for solitaires describes several instances in which he worshipped with friends and teachers. Scott Cunningham is another one that I absolutely recommend. Number 3, Selena Fox. Born October 20th, 1949 in Arlington, Virginia, is a Wiccan priestess, interfaith minister, environmentalist, pagan elder, author, and lecturer in the fields of pagan studies, eco-psychology, and comparative religion. Fox is a trained counselor and psychotherapist with a bachelor's cum laude in psychology from the College of William and Mary in 1971 and a master's in counseling from the University of Wisconsin-Madison in 1995, where her thesis was entitled When Goddess is God: Pagans, Recovery, and Alcoholics Anonymous. 1995, she has been a member of the American Psychological Association, American Counseling Association, Association for Transpersonal Psychology, and American Academy of Religion. Fox began leading public pagan rituals in 1971 and has done public education about paganism since 1973. In talks and public media interviews, she has also been mentioned in print publications, including a profile in People magazine in 1979. Fox has been active in environmental preservation and endeavors since helping to organize the first Earth Day, April 22, 1970, and speaks about eco-spirituality. Fox has advocated for Wiccan religious freedom for religious adherents in the military, including spearheading, along with Americans United for Separation of Church and State, the inclusion of the episcopal symbol on the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs list of emblems of belief that can be included on government-issued markers, headstones, and plaques honoring the deceased veterans. That is one woman that I would truly love to meet. Okay, now this next one I have just a little bit on her, but she is someone definitely you might want to do a little bit of research on if you're looking more into modern pagans. Azealia Banks, born May 31, 1991, is an American rapper, singer, songwriter, record producer, and actress. Raised in the Harlem neighborhood of New York City, she began releasing music through MySpace in 2008 before being signed to XL Recordings at age 17. Controversial rapper Azealia Banks has been outspoken about practicing witchcraft. In fact, in 2016, she made headlines after posting videos of the blood-stained and feather-covered closet she reportedly used for animal sacrifices. She said the closet, which appeared to contain chicken carcasses too, had ended up in that state after 3 years' worth of brujeria, which means witchcraft in Spanish. She says, "Real witches do real things," she said in the video. There has been some controversy on that in a lot of ways. One of which is that some people believe she practices voodoo or santeria, and then others believe that maybe her practice has gone too far because of the fact that she still does sacrifices, and most pagan practices do not do that anymore. It's not saying that it's not a thing, it's a very rare thing in modern times. Okay, here's another one for you. Number 5. Anton LaVey, born as Howard Stanton LaVey, April 11, 1930, and died October 9, 1997, was an American author, musician, and occultist. He was the founder of the Church of Satan and the religion of LaVeyan Satanism. He authored several books, including the Satanic Bible, The Satanic Rituals, The Satanic Witch, The Devil's Notebook, and Satan Speaks. In addition, he released 3 albums, including The Satanic Mass, Satan Takes a Holiday, and Strange Music. He played a minor on-screen role and served as a technical advisor for the 1975 film The Devil's Reign. Anton was thought to be a showman and anthropologist. He claimed at one point to have shaved his head in honor of the tradition of ancient executioners. In reality, it was found that he shaved his head due to losing a bet and then made up the story to hide his embarrassment. There is a great deal of controversial arguments where LaVey is concerned. Some say he led a practice of worship to evil to coincide with the devil created by Christianity, while others say otherwise, that he practiced in a religion of taking responsibility for yourself. So that is one to be studied if you are interested in exactly what it was that he did. And also keep in mind that many people that knew him stated that he was a showman, that what attention he would get is what he would produce. And not so much about what he practiced or truly believed in, but about the focus that he could get, being the center of attention. Just something to think about. Number 6, Silver Ravenwolf. Born September 11, 1956, Silver Ravenwolf, born Janine E. Traer, is an American New Age, magic, and witchcraft author and lecturer who focuses on Wicca, is a nationally recognized leader and elder of Wicca, and her writing has been instrumental in guiding the future of one of the fastest growing faiths in America today. The author of many books, she has been interviewed by the New York Times, Newsweek magazines, and the Wall Street Journal, and her work has been featured in numerous publications including Bust Magazine, the Baltimore Sun, and St. Petersburg Times, the National Review, Publishers Weekly, Body and Soul magazine, and Teen Lit magazine. Her titles include best-selling Solitary Witch, Teen Witch, To Ride a Silver Broomstick, To Stir a Magic Cauldron, To Light a Sacred Flame, American Folk Magic, Angels, Companions in Magic, Silver's Silver Spells for Prosperity, Silver Spells for Protection, Silver Spells for Love, Halloween, Hedge Witch, and the Witches Night Out teen fiction series. um, I've only read a couple of Silver um, Raven Silverwolf's books, and I don't see anything wrong with her writing. I do think that she focuses very much on the young mind in fantasy. Um, I don't think she's a bad writer. I just think that maybe it needs to be updated a little bit. Then again, that's because I'm also a much older adult, to where somebody younger, say 15 to 21, they would might fit better into those reading material because it fits to the way that they think, the situations that they have to deal with life, and how they're coming into their craft. So it's different for everybody. Okay, and then number 7, special mentions. Shawn Robbins is an amazing author. When she joined my group, Pagans of the Path, I wasn't sure about accepting the request to join because she was so vague on who she was, and I didn't really know her. I took a minute and then looking at the couple of pictures that she had posted, and I got a really good feel about her. And I was like, I'm going to accept her into this group. She's somebody that I feel like could bring something to this group, Pagans of the Path, Rise of the Phoenix. And throughout that time, she had some great conversations, and she doesn't post a whole lot, but every now and then when she does, it's always beneficial and has a very positive feel to it. And I don't feel that I made a mistake in having her in the group. Well, then she said she was writing a new book, The Good Witch's Guide. I already knew about Wikipedia since she had been a member of the group. I had learned that she was author of Wikipedia. Now, that was kind of fascinating for me. It kind of started my idea of thinking of writing books of my own. But then she did The Good Witch's Guide, and there was a lot of contributors to her book that from various places that she's been to and people that she talked to. And I am absolutely honored to be one of those contributors to her book. And that further inspired me to write books. So I also have 4 books of my own that are self-published. So I want to give the special mention to Shawn Robbins because over this time frame, over the last couple of years, I have learned that she is absolutely amazing, and that first feeling that I got looking at her picture, saying I think that she's a positive person, it was absolutely correct. She has absolutely proven to be amazing. And so I wanted to give that special mention to her before I tell about her a little bit. So, number 7, Shawn Robbins. Noted author, psychic, and paranormal researcher, has been ranked one of the top 10 psychics in the world. She was a special consultant for the New York City Police Department, murder and white-collar crime cases, United States Navy psychic spying, and numerous leading corporations. She is an expert in the field of mystical, spiritual, and holistic science. Having lectured extensively on these subjects throughout her career, Shawn was one of the original psychics on the CIA's Stargate program, trained to spy on the Russian government. Her code name was Madame Zodiac. Shawn is the author or co-author of highly successful books, including The Crystal Witch, The Witch's Way, Wikipedia, Journal Book of Shadows, Wikipedia, The Good Witch's Guide, a modern-day Wikipedia of magical ingredients and spells, The Good Witch's Perpetual Planner, by Sterling Publishers, Wikipedia with Sterling Publishers, as well as Shawn Robbins' Prophecy for the End of Time was Avon Publishers, More Prophecies for the Coming Millennium was Avon Publishers, and Ahead of Myself was Prentice Hall. She is the ghostwriter for many of the top internet astrology sites, both for adults and teenagers, and was a former radio talk show host on the WABC radio New York City on the paranormal. Sean Robbins' main mission in life is to inspire and empower people to become the best that they can be by using their innate psychic powers to take charge of their destiny. And I do want to say that before knowing her main mission in life, she had already accomplished that with me on a personal level. I have enjoyed the few conversations that I have had with her. I have enjoyed the things that she has shared with the group, and I am absolutely honored that I got to be mentioned in one of her books, The Good Witch's Guide. I would love to meet Sean Robbins one day in person. So, okay, if you guys like this video, please share it along with others. Let everybody know that we are touching on history of pagans, modern and past. If you have any questions, please comment below, and I will answer all comments. Um, like, share, and subscribe, guys. Thank you for being here tonight. I love you. Mwah.